This is News 6 Tonight.
Hello there, and welcome to News 6 Tonight. Glad to have you with us on
us.
this election night. Kind of an interesting municipalities are going to be changing quite a bit.
Especially in Central Florida, and some of them haven't changed in a long time.
Right. One of the big races, Regina Hill in Orlando, she goes down. Shan Rose wins,
I
continues.
know. We're covering that at 10 and 11 o'clock tonight,
Yeah.
but very interesting stuff. We're not going to cover that tonight, but we have
We'll
so
get into
many.
all the nitty gritty at 10 and 11.
Yeah. There is so much going on that we do need to talk about. And in the case that we've been talking about, I feel like we've been talking about this case for years, but we've been talking about it for months. From the middle of the summer, we're talking
This
about
month has been a long year. Is that what you usually say?
This month has been, yeah. You could do that. It works. But it's the case of the suspended Osceola County Sheriff, Marcos Lopez, and his estranged wife, Robin Severance Lopez. They are entangled in this sort of illegal gambling ring out of Osceola County. It's just been going back and forth for a long time. But when you think about it, this all happened during the summer. Now, she is set to go to trial next week. That seems like a really speedy
flying.
trial. Yeah, so she is facing 2 counts of conspiracy to commit racketeering, and it's again all in connection to the illegal gambling case that her husband or estranged husband is also charged in as well. Your community correspondent Mike Valenti has been following this story from the very beginning, and he has more on this one.
They're arresting me.
Just weeks after she was rearrested and accused of lying on an application to modify her bail conditions, Robin Severance Lopez is slated to face a jury next week on her original charges of conspiracy to commit racketeering in connection to an alleged illegal gambling operation.
I would like to keep it for trial within her speedy trial.
Severance Lopez's defense attorney, Michelle Yard, taking a different tact than Marcos Lopez's team, who waived his right to a speedy trial, kicking his case down the road. On Monday, News 6 told you about a new court filing, giving us insight into the evidence prosecutors plan to present against both Marcos and Robin, including recorded jail calls between the two, financial records, and state witnesses who prosecutors say can speak to purchases made on things like a $57,000 Kia Telluride and a lot reservation fee to build a home.
And a lot of people are just saying it's so strange that it's happening so quickly, because I think there's still more charges to come.
She has a separate case about posting bonds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it just seems like, okay, you want a speedy trial, and everyone's like, hey, wouldn't you want to wait until everything is in? But she,
What does it tell you? Because I think it exudes some confidence. You think, hey, I feel like I'm in a good place right now. Let's go.
I'm in the
and do this
catbird
thing.
seat, so to speak.
It certainly gives the prosecution less time to prepare their case. So you
will.
could see
I mean,
how she wants to be home by the holidays.
She wants to be home by Thanksgiving, apparently, because her trial is expected to begin next Monday, with jury selection starting then. It's just crazy.
It'll be an interesting case. And by the way, there are some things that could happen. You never know. She could end up taking a plea.
You never know. Yeah, and
she could
done
testify
like that.
against her husband.
Estranged husband. Let's
Yes, thank
make
you.
sure we
Estranged husband.
clarify
So
that.
we'll have to see. The plot is certainly always thickening in that case.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
Well, we have covered Lake County damage. They had all that rain. Was it 20 inches of rain in just a matter of a couple
Almost, yeah.
hours? Bridges and roads were washed out. Well, finally tonight, people who live there are getting some answers about when some of these issues will be corrected. So your community correspondent, Emily McLeod, she has been covering this ever since it happened. She's been doing a great job too. Here's the latest on that.
I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod. I'm here on Wolf Branch Road, and we have some good news for people who use this road frequently. The county says this road could be reopened in 4 weeks, but this isn't the only road project Lake County is currently working on. They're also working on fixing Britt Road, which has been closed since Hurricane Milton back in 2024. You can see here on Wolf Branch Road, still some equipment is out here from crews working. These two washouts, they're really not far apart from each other. Both of these road washouts have impacted how people get around the county.
Wolf Branch was washed out during Hurricane Milton in 2024, and then again a year later after historic amounts of rain swept through Lake County in late October.
We've got about 10 people on the job right now. We're making a lot of progress. We're making some enhancements and improvements to that road as we're rebuilding it.
The county says the completion date relies on work that must be completed by gas and electric companies first, and says the road will be improved by increasing drainage capacity and modifying the road itself.
We're raising the road about 12 to 18 inches so that we can handle some of the runoff that might come over the road, but we're shoring up the sides of the road itself, and we're adding 2 additional large culverts.
Lake County Commissioner Leslie Campione also giving an update on Britt Road repairs. Britt Road has been shut down since it was washed out during Hurricane Milton in 2024. The county took a big step forward back in August when it approved the purchase of the land needed to fix Britt Road for $675,000.
So the thing Emily talks about that I find very interesting that a lot of times we forget in the middle of all this is all the infrastructure that is built around and underneath these roads. You have sewage pipes getting washed away when this happens, electricity, other infrastructure that takes a beating when these roads are washed out, and you can't then just slap the road in and do all that after.
You can't put concrete or asphalt on top of them. It's like, there,
These
fixed
big
it.
culverts, you got to order those from somewhere. You have to get them in. So the fact that some of these, like Wolf Creek, will be targeted for 4 weeks from now, that would be a pretty quick turnaround. We'll see if they can stick to that.
I mean, I'm sure it seems like a long time for the people who live there,
can you
but I
imagine?
mean, considering some of the things we've seen, and it has taken a year to get some roads back up and running, especially after hurricanes and things like that. And you see these
that
communities
one
that are
from
just
Milton was still messed
Oh,
up.
yeah, exactly. And, you talk about the culvert. That was where she was yesterday. This one HOA community is cut off, the 21 homes cut off from the rest of the community because that culvert is impassable. They can't drive over it. They can only walk over it and get their things. But there's more, the infrastructure is the problem, and there's a sewer line running under that. So they just can't come in and start drilling and digging because if they drill into that, now it's a separate issue that's going to take even longer.
Well, and it all has to be pieced together.
Oh
before
my
you can put the
gosh.
road
It's
over
just
it.
a nightmare.
It is such a mess to deal with. I am
Let's leave
not
it to the engineers.
jealous of
Let's
the
leave it
people
to
who are
the
gonna have
Army
to do
Corps
that.
engineers, and they do a great job, and they know what they're doing, and it takes as long as it takes, but it's always too
Too
long
long.
if you live in
That's
that
right.
community. All right, from too long to too much. $12.7 billion. That's how much Americans lost to scams last year. Let that sink in. Billions from scammers.
Hard to even wrap.
You can't. The third most common type of identity theft from last year, the scam, was personal loan or business. And it happened to a Central Florida couple. They think that their bank should have protected them more. But the bank is now coming out and saying, you guys have to do due diligence and make sure that when you're getting a loan,
Protect yourself. They're saying,
they can't
which
do
is
it all
never
for
an
you
answer you want.
from your bank, the people who handle your money.
Right.
I just want them to say, hey, we'll get it back for you. But our investigator, Lewis Bolden, has more on this couple who's now out of thousands of dollars.
A Central Florida couple is out of thousands of dollars after applying for a loan online. I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. The couple believes their bank did not support them, but the bank says customers should be vigilant about scams. It's this week's Schemes and Ripoffs Alert.
I don't want other people to go through what I went through. It's hard.
When Vanessa Cox looks at the pages of messages and bank transactions, she still can't believe it happened.
I'm dealing with it every day, and it's hard for me not to think about the money that I lost.
Cox was on social media when an ad came up for a loan with Greenish Credit and Lending Corporation, but it was not the real company. She says she clicked, applied, and was immediately approved.
They offered me the 0.25 interest for like a $20,000 loan. I said, that's a good deal.
The fake company sent her a loan endorsement letter and assigned a fake loan officer, Anika Mabanta, who told her there was a processing fee of $650. Over the next few days, there was always a reason for Cox to send more money, and the transactions kept getting bigger. According to the police report she filed after she realized it was a scam, she sent $18,670. Many of the transactions were made with her debit card. When she tried disputing them with her bank, she got this letter saying there was no unauthorized activity and her claim was denied.
I feel like abandoned by my bank. My bank refused to help me.
It's a tough situation. You can
I get
understand
it.
the bank's perspective because you do have to do some due diligence when it comes to getting a loan.
You do. And if everyone didn't do that, then the banks are now responsible for billions and
Everything.
billions of dollars. Yeah. So you have to make your own responsible choices. But the scammers are getting more sophisticated, so it is harder to tell. And you feel sorry for people who are, some of them are retired and they lose their life savings, or that's all they have. That's all they have.
Man, I get some texted to me, these scammers.
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
clever. They'll try to trick you with the one I've been getting recently. Your Apple Pay had an unauthorized charge. Do you want to? And I'm like,
Oh,
wait a
yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
You're not, that number doesn't make sense
No,
with what
no.
this should be. So they are tricky, and then they seek you out when you're going to get a loan for your business or
I have
personal.
gotten applause from my credit card company because I was like, hey, I got a text message. I don't know if this is you. And they're like, we sent it. But they're like, thank you for calling.
Right.
Better safe than sorry, because you get text messages all the time. They look legit. And how crazy, how stupid would I feel if we report on this all the time?
It's
And
exactly what I worry about every day.
I
as
would
just
never
think
say a
about,
word to anybody.
No.
It's like, why is Ginger
we would
living on the
both die
streets?
with that secret. Yeah, well, I accidentally gave someone way too much money and fell for it. No, we won't do that.
No.
We won't do that. All right, we have a lot more coming up for you. In fact, apparently Floridians, a new survey says you're wanting to leave the state.
What?
What are
Why?
You, what are you, high? Have you been outside? We'll talk about this. We'll dissect it after the break.
Yeah, and he got the latest from the sheriff just a little while ago, I think. So make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from. Welcome back to News 6 Tonight. You can chalk this next story up to my take this with a grain of salt. I don't like polls. I don't like reporting on polls. I don't like surveys. You know what the one thing I learned in statistics class was in college? That you can manipulate
Oh,
statistics.
yeah, you can make it say whatever you want it to say.
I say all that to report on a poll for you tonight. So this new poll says that 50% of Floridians have considered moving out because
50%?
of the cost of living here in Florida.
Half the people.
Wow,
Did you just
you
say-
are good at
I'm
math.
I'm so good at math.
Thank you for clarifying.
No, but that's just a lot of, what do we have, like 23 million people?
So 11.5 million people are considering leaving. I mean, I think people are going to say yes to that if they've ever thought about leaving Florida. Of course, we can be whiny and moany, but we're not going anywhere. 90% are worried about inflation. FAU down in Boca, they did the study.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think all Floridians gripe about that. Oh, I-4 traffic. I'm getting out of here. My property insurance is too expensive. You're not going anywhere. Have you felt it in another state at this time of year? What are you going to move to Jamaica? Is the only way you're going to be able to get something like this?
You know, that's crazy. And especially when you talk about the weather. When you
It all
okay,
starts
so
and
when
stops
you
with the weather.
interviewed in Florida, everyone is told the same thing. You're like, but hey, can we get this bumped up a little
They
bit?
say they pay you in sunshine here. That's what they say in the news business.
It's exactly right. 100%. They all went to school and they got that same line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, yeah, no, I interviewed another place and I interviewed here and it was in March.
Mm-hmm.
That other place was Minneapolis.
Oh, gosh.
Snow was 6 feet high on the side of, and it was dirty snow. It wasn't like
Old
winter
snow. It was
wonderland.
old snow, yeah.
It had been sitting around for a while, and I flew down here, and my home where I'm from. It's like, sorry, Minneapolis.
Boy, that was an easy choice.
So anyway, Stephanie Rodriguez, she talks to some people about the issues that we are facing in this state.
Would you consider moving out of Florida? I'm Stephanie Rodriguez reporting from Orlando. A new poll from Florida Atlantic University found that over 50% of people polled would think about leaving the Sunshine State because of rising prices.
Florida Atlantic University asked 1,000 Floridians. Here's what they found. 90% are somewhat concerned about inflation and 80% are worried about housing affordability. 36% are confident their household will improve over the next few years, while 43% are somewhat confident. And 53% still believe in the American dream.
These are big numbers. They're really concerned. And yet, despite how concerned they are, there's still kind of an unexplained optimism that they still think that things are going to be better in the future.
UCF's Institute for Economic Forecasting director tells me the increased housing prices, mortgage rates, and insurance premiums have put pressure on Floridians.
Inflation is now, coming down. That doesn't mean the prices of everything go back down. It just means prices don't continue to rise at such a rapid rate.
And that even though it's expensive, many people are still working, which could explain consumer optimism.
Hiring has slowed significantly. The unemployment rate, remains at historically low levels.
While 53% would consider leaving Florida, Levy thinks it's a misguided perception.
My kind of sense is that people are maybe falling for the grass is greener on the other side.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, where are you going to move to that has a better cost of living? Louisiana?
No.
You got to move to Alabama or North Dakota?
I mean,
those are your options.
You can go.
Yeah. Maybe you could sell your house to one of us for cheap.
But I mean, during the height of COVID, which I don't like to bring up, people were flocking here because we could be outside. We could do things that other places didn't have the luxury of doing, especially during the winter time.
Yeah.
This is one of those places where we're talking about cold weather heading our way. And by cold, we mean in the 60s and 50s and 40s. That's still, you can live good.
It's just a great place to live. When other people, I have family in other states and they try to bash Florida. And I'm like,
don't even try it.
You don't understand what the differences are here. When it comes to December, November, and you're shoveling snow.
Oh, they
scraping off
understand.
Your windshield.
They understand. But
you have no idea how bad they have.
Anyway, so
I love sending them pictures in the winter.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
I'll be in my pool.
That really is a terrible thing. But then they probably all want to come and visit you and stay with you for a little bit.
That's the issue.
Yeah. All right, moving on. I don't know if you've been outside yet tonight. You have. Because it's dark so early right now, and you went out for dinner, so it was dark by that time. Did you happen to look up and see that big, bright,
You know,
beautiful
I did
moon?
not look up at the
What? Did you notice how bright it was?
Too busy
though?
feeling those good temperatures.
Okay, yeah. Well, we have a super moon, and it is. I thought it was last night. We have. Okay, we're getting something from Jonathan. Is our mic out? And
Okay,
now it's
mics are
back.
back.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
We were muted.
We were
So just go ahead and say what you just said, Ginger.
Take two. It's a supermoon tomorrow. It's known as the Beaver Moon. Traditionally, our Candace Campos, our chief meteorologist, wrote an article on this, and it says that name dates back to the time when beavers were busiest preparing their lodges for winter. Speaking of being nice in the winter here, I just love a full moon, especially on a night like tonight, and it's kind of clear. It's great. I think we have one more coming up this year, and the moon appears just so much closer. I think it's like 15% larger looking.
Here's the thing.
Because it's closer.
In reality,
What? You don't care.
you couldn't tell the difference.
What?
You can't really tell the difference. 15%? What does that even mean? It's a circle.
If you, oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, what is that? Is that one extra little
And
slice
it's not
off
really
of
a
it?
circle. The moon's not really round.
Oh, good Lord.
And let's bring in our meteorologist, Jonathan Kegas, to talk about this because I know he loves science and he's going to science all of this for you.
Jonathan, can you tell the difference in 15% of a moon?
I almost said HE double hockey sticks.
Thank
Heck
you.
yes.
Language, sir. Language.
Absolutely. 15, like when you're like, if you dim a light by 15% in your living room, you're going to notice that.
Jonathan,
when
just
you
drop your
You know
mic
what?
right there.
You know what happened? I dimmed your studio lights in your office, and did you notice it? No, 15%.
That's because he
Well, because
lights up a room when he walks in. So
There are multiple
Too many
sources
space
of
nerds
light.
on this show.
space nerds. I love it.
Go-
What is that?
go-
Is it perigee? What is that called when it's like?
Yes, perigee.
Okay, thank
When
you.
it is, yeah, so the closest point. So 3 times, they're they have to be within like 10% of the closest. That's how you can get multiple
He's
in
so
a year.
mad at me now, right now, Jonathan.
It's just, you're both ridiculous. So, what are you talking about tonight, Jonathan? Oh, good, the moon. We're
What do
gonna
you
talk
think?
about weather.
Yeah, so it's the Beaver Moon. It's officially at its most illuminated at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we kind of get like the best of both worlds. You really can't you can't tell the difference between like when it's going to be actually full at 8 a.m. and where it is right now.
Yeah.
So we kind of get 2 nights of the super moon. That's going to be tonight and then tomorrow night. So that is it. And then Ginger mentioned it. One more to go. The cold moon in December. That's also considered a supermoon. This one though is the biggest. It's the brightest of the 3. You may not be able to tell the difference between these 3 supermoons, but from whenever you're just your regular old moon far away, and now
regular
you are
moon.
definitely going to be able to tell. Sorry.
Oh,
Matt.
that's what I meant. Between the harvest and the blood moons and all these things, I can never tell the difference between.
He didn't even bother to look up tonight, Jonathan. So we can't trust him. We can't trust him.
I can like all my sky cams right now. It's like you can see the ocean and there are no lights in the middle of the water because the moon is so bright.
Okay.
Anything? Okay.
Whatever you say.
It really. Thank you for validating what I said before this. I didn't know you were going to do that, but thank
That's
you.
exactly what Ginger needs, more validation.
Don't we
her
all?
life.
Don't we all? Jonathan,
Hey,
we're gonna check you out at 9:30 because you're
Talk
always.
about the moon for a full half hour at 9:30, Jonathan.
He's got more stuff.
Oh, I could do it if I could do it, but there's a lot. Hey, there's some really good news on the tropical front. Just kind of backing up what we were talking about. We're gonna talk about that at 9:30 too.
Oh, awesome! Like to hear that. All right, thank you, Jonathan.
All right, thank you, my friend. We appreciate you. Yeah, check him out at 9:30. It's
All
gonna
right,
be good.
coming up.
Yeah.
You know this is a story that I love, but I think you get to do it on the other side of the break. We got another dog beach, y'all. We'll be right back.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Those rules that
Some
we're
of the
going to put up.
rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 1.7 mile stretch. You have to have the leash
Of course.
on the dog.
Mm-hmm.
The startup costs have been donated. Actually, a nonprofit group, Daytona Dog Beach Inc., donated the funds to cover the startup.
I need you to read slower and admire these dogs, especially my man right here.
Look at that guy. Looks like he should be on a Harley Davidson. Starts December 1st. Now, this started off as a pilot program.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, when we had this story and we said they're going to let dogs on the beach for 18 months, basically, it wasn't for the dogs. It was to see if the people.
Fine. I get. What are we gonna do?
We're just going to talk.
I'm just gonna keep
maybe
going.
You can hear us. Maybe you can't.
Maybe. I hope so. But thank you, Jonathan. Oh, now we're back.
Okay.
But people are responsible. Responsible dog owners are great. It's the few bad apples that don't do it. Volusia County was also the county they were gonna let horses ride. You do horseback riding on the beach.
Scrapped that real.
That I was not a fan of, because cleaning up after a horse and cleaning up after a dog are two different things. You see that
Need a
thing?
shovel
Oh
for
my!
a horse. Yeah, no, I'm glad. I'm glad it's worked
Me too.
out, and I
Me
hope
too.
that there's no incidents and people, keep things in check. I think everybody was
I think
sort
they
of on the
will.
honeymoon there for a while.
Oh,
Hopefully they will.
and responsible dog owners will shame an irresponsible one. We'll look at you and say, "Hey,
We
did you
know-
need a bag?
I watched my.
I have an
neighbor-
extra one."
I watched my neighbor's dog do its
Oh.
thing on the other neighbor, and they just let that thing run.
No.
Don't do it. Don't be that person. There's flies in here. Have a great night.
See you at 10.